Hey everybody, it's Andrew. Prime Days here on Amazon. We also got Black Friday in July. We got HP, Dell, Lenovo, all having sales. Some of them good, some of them okay. We'll go through some of them, some of the best ones I think that we should take a look at to save some money here. While laptops are still very expensive, this certainly alleviates the pain in the wallet, right? So we want to get the best deals possible. So without further ado, let's get right to it. Okay, so let's start off with the Microsoft Surface laptop that came out in 2024. They're now calling it the Surface Laptop. They don't just call it the Surface Laptop 7. Nonetheless, it's got the Snapdragon X Plus. That's the less expensive version, but it's a very capable Snapdragon X Plus processor with 10 cores, 16 gigabytes of RAM, 512 gigabytes of storage. And this is showing here in the Sapphire for $799.99. I think Best Buy also has the same one on sale. Of course, there are different colors here, but there are different colors here. The black is a little bit more expensive at $859.99. Whatever reason, again, I think that's the more popular color. I like that one. Unfortunately, I don't see the Surface laptop for business that I reviewed with the Intel Lunar Lake processor. That would have been great. Of course, this one is the Snapdragon, and it's an ARM-based processor. So my caveat to you is, of course, if you're going to look at that, make sure you know what you're getting. Keep it, simple, right? Microsoft Office, email, web browsing. Basically, everything works. There might be a few driver issues with some printers still. Gaming is still hit or miss, although it's getting better. But if you just stick to the basics, you're going to get really great battery life. You're going to get great performance, good single and multi-core. So I've already reviewed that. I'll leave links to my reviews in the description below. Kind of wish it was the Intel version, but that's just me. But this is a good deal, especially if you want to get it on sale here, which of course is 28% off, now down to $859.99 for the black one, $799 for the Sapphire. And I think the Dune, let's see what the price is on that one. So the Dune color is $789, so it's even cheaper than the Sapphire. And the Platinum is $899. And that one is for the 13.8 inch. So that's, I guess, a little bit more expensive. Still 26% off. So links for everything in the description below. Now let's move on to the Samsung Galaxy Book 5 Pro 360 that I reviewed, running Intel's Lunar Lake, the Core Ultra 7 256V. 3K AMOLED display, absolutely gorgeous, the star of the show. 16 gigabytes of memory, 512 gigabytes of storage, 120 hertz variable refresh rate. 2025 model in that gray, and that one comes in at $1,249.99. That's 22% off. It's normally $1,600. It's now $1,250. That's a decent deal, and especially for a laptop that I absolutely loved. I really did like it, although there are some things I didn't like about it, considering the keyboard is a little bit on the shallow side, and there's no haptic touchpad. I went over that in the review, but at a discount, we have a little bit of a different story here. If you can get it cheaper, I definitely recommend it. There is some models with the full HD display and all that stuff, but that'll be a little bit cheaper. But this one is $1,249.99, and you can get it over at Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description below. All right, let's go over to Best Buy. They're having their Black Friday in July, again, to compete with the Amazon Prime Day. And here you can see $650 for the Yoga 7i 2-in-1 from Lenovo. That is running the Meteor Lake, 16 gigabytes of memory and a terabyte of storage. Not a bad deal for $400 off, bringing it down to $650. So that's a deal you may not want to miss. And one we just reviewed, right? The brand new Surface laptop, the 13-inch with the Snapdragon X Plus with 16 gigabytes of memory, although this one is the one with the 256 gigabytes of UFS storage. Not my favorite kind of storage here, so you might want to upgrade that yourself. But it's now $100 off. What was $899.99 is now $799.99. A decent deal. If you go up to 512 gigabytes of SS or UFS storage here, you're looking at $900. Again, $100 off. And you can get it in Ocean, Platinum, and Violet. Now, I looked at the Ocean color. That is this color right here. And I thought it was a pretty good laptop, although there was some shortcomings, as I mentioned in my review. But $100 off makes it a little bit easier on the wallet. So I definitely can say that is a much better deal than when originally released. So check it out. Link will be in the description below. Now, for those looking for the MacBook Air running Apple's latest processor, the M4, that one's down $150 to $850, originally $999. I looked at this one. This is that midnight color. That does show a little bit of fingerprint, so just keep that in mind, but there are other colors. But $850, not a bad deal. A lot of people like this. I had some sort of reservations about it in certain areas. I did my review. I'll leave a link to it in the description below. But you know what? $150 off, that is a pretty nice deal. Now, here's another one that just came into the studio. It's from Alienware, and it's their Aurora 16 that I just got in. Again, we're going to have a review on this. It's running Intel Core 7 240H with 32 gigabytes of memory, and you're looking at the GeForce RTX 5060, a terabyte of storage in that blue. I also have the upgraded model. I believe it's the 16X, and that is also on sale. Let's take a look at that. And here is the Alienware 16X, the Aurora 240 gigahertz gaming laptop, Core Ultra 9 275HX, 32 gigabytes of memory, RTX 5060, 1 terabyte of storage in the blue finish. I have this one that also came in with the 16. So this is definitely one we want to take a look at. I will have a full review on this. It's already $450 off. So it was originally $1,800. It's now $1,350. Not a bad deal, folks. So I will have my full review on this very soon, but already a pretty nice discount, especially if you don't want to break the bank for the more expensive Alienware Area 51 laptop that I reviewed, which was a really high-end gaming experience, but it also had a high-end price. Now, incidentally, the Aurora 16X also comes in with the RTX 5070, which is an upgraded model. That's the one I actually have. I believe I have. I'll make sure, but that is what I believe I have. $2,100. That's not on sale. So the 5060 model is on sale. So just keep that in mind. And while we're on the subject of Alienware, the desktop, the Area 51 that I looked at, although I looked at the one with the 5090, the one with the 5080, which I think most people will be perfectly fine with, a very powerful processor and GPU combination here, the Core Ultra 9 285K plus the 5080. $38.99. Yeah, still very expensive, but it's down $650. So if you're looking for the Alienware Area 51 gaming desktop, again, I'll leave a link to my review. It is down in price, so maybe the time to pounce. Now, that is a little bit expensive, even with the big discount. Now, the Alienware Aurora gaming desktop, which is a more affordable series, is down $650 to $1,800. That's $650 off the initial asking price. So a little bit more palatable. You get an RTX 5070. You also get the Ultra 9 Series 2, 285, and the 32 gigabytes of memory. Again, that's another desktop you might want to look at that won't break the bank quite as bad as that Area 51 desktop. All right, let's move over to Lenovo and some Black Friday deals in July. A doorbuster for their ThinkPad X1 Carbon Gen 13 Aura Edition, and they're giving you a discount of $330. It's now down to $24.89. And this is the model that I like. This is the one that I would go with. Intel Core Ultra 7 258V. That, of course, is the Lunar Lake. You got 32 gigabytes of memory, a terabyte of storage. It is user upgradable. 14-inch 2.8K OLED or OLED display, 120 hertz. One of my favorites. A 1080p camera, IR with the RGB and all that stuff with the privacy shutter. This is one that I really like with the Wi-Fi 7, Bluetooth 5.4 is on sale. Again, it's still expensive, a business-focused laptop, one of the most popular business laptops, if not the most popular business laptops on the market. ThinkPad X1 Carbon Gen 13, one of my favorites, and in the running for laptop of the year, now $330 off. Well, that's something, right? And moving right along, we have the Lenovo Yoga 7i 2-in-1 16-inch. I actually have it here. I'm ready to do my review on that, so stay tuned. That's coming. That's $275 off. We're now at $784.99, and I'm going to tell you right off the bat, it's a really good one here. The Core Ultra 5 226V Lunar Lake processor, 16 gigabytes of memory, a terabyte of storage, 16-inch 1920 by 1200 IPS display, So that's a Full HD Plus, 300 nits, 60 hertz. Again, the display is good, but the price is even better here. So with that price now, $785, a pretty great deal. And you also get the Yoga pen, which of course is an added bonus here for taking notes. And this one is one of their doorbuster deals. Link in the description below. And again, my review on the way. I have that. I've been testing it, and it's a good one. And here's another one in the Yoga line, the Yoga 7 2-in-1 16-inch, but this one is running AMD's Kraken Point, and that is one that I'm very interested in. Of course, it has the Ryzen AI 7 350, a processor we've seen already a number of times on the channel. And it has 16 gigabytes of memory, a terabyte of storage, and the 16-inch display. This one, of course, is the same display as the Intel counterpart, an IPS Full HD Plus, 1080p IR camera. So this one is on sale for $824.99. That's also $275 off the initial asking price. All right, Black Friday in July at HP, and one of the more recent gaming laptops, one of the top 16-inch gaming laptops is now on sale, the Omen Max 16-inch, $3,000 plus here. So $3,100, which is a $500 instant discount. And you're getting the Core Ultra 9 275HX, the NVIDIA RTX 5090 GPU. I looked at that GPU. It's very powerful. Terabyte of storage, 32 gigabytes of memory, which of course is all expandable. And you also are getting the Full HD Plus 165 hertz display. Of course, you could step up to the OLED, but that will be a little bit more money, obviously. But at a $500 discount, I think is a pretty decent deal. Yes, it's still expensive, but a little bit easier on the wallet here. So a link will be in the description below. And you still get $500 off the OLED model. It's now $3289.99. So it's $190 premium you're paying to go with that OLED display. So you can either go with the IPS or the OLED. Either way, you're getting a $500 instant discount over at HP Black Friday in July. All right, here's one that I absolutely love, and I reviewed it. It's the HP OmniStudio X All-in-One 27-inch desktop, and of course, I love these all-in-ones, especially from HP, and this one is no exception. It's now on sale for $1,029.99. That's $410 off, or 28% off the initial asking price. Intel Core Ultra 7 processor, Intel Arc graphics, 16 gigabytes of memory, a terabyte of storage, and that beautiful 27-inch Full HD touch display. So this is one that I was really keen on. I got a lot of views on that video. I'll leave a link to my review in the description below in case you didn't check it out. But a really nice discount here that won't break the bank and gives you a sleek looking all-in-one. Definitely from HP, or the one that you want to look at. So again, link will be in the description below. And here's one of my favorites from the Spectre line, which of course is no longer, but it's still a very viable option here in 2025. They've now moved on to the OmniBook Ultra Flip, but it's basically, this is the predecessor and one of my favorites, the Spectre X360 2-in-1 16-inch. Now this one is $1,299.99. You now save $550. This is a great deal because you're getting a really nice OLED display, 2.8K resolution, variable refresh rate up to 120 hertz. Absolutely gorgeous here, and one of my favorites. So if you are in a market for a 2-in-1 and a 16-inch, so you get all of that really good screen real estate, the extra screen real estate that a 16-inch convertible gives you, this is your ticket. A $550 instant savings here, and I highly recommend it. This is a good one. So for those business users out there, here's another good one from the HP EliteBook line. It's the HP EliteBook 865, a 16-inch laptop. It's the G11 from last year. It's now down to $1,049. That is a massive 68% off. And at this price, it's a high recommend here. You're getting the AMD Ryzen 7 Pro 8840U. It's a very good processor, 16 gigabytes of memory, and 512 gigabytes of upgradable SSD storage. You get the AMD Radeon 780M graphics, which are good. This is a great deal, by the way. For only $1,050, you're getting a really, really nice, good secure laptop. It has the HP Wolf Pro security, which is highly recommended. It also comes with a 3-year warranty. So this is a great deal for those in the market. And this is a 16-inch laptop that I don't think you should miss if you're in the market looking for a good business laptop that is with some good security features. And it also is at a great price. This is the one to look at. Now, we already talked about the HP Omen Max 16 in the Intel variant, but they have a more affordable AMD variant with the Ryzen AI 7 H350 with the RTX 5060 gaming laptop. And that one's down $500 to $1,499.99. That's a really good deal. I'll leave a link to that in the description below as well. So if you don't want to break the bank over $3,000 on the Intel counterpart, this one is half the price and gives you a lot of bang for the buck, especially on a really great gaming laptop here from the HP Omen Max line. Here's another interesting one from HP, the HP OmniBook 7 Flip, a 16-inch 2-in-1 convertible that is down to $599.99. That's $660 off or 52% off. And this comes with the Intel Core Ultra 5 226V Lunar Lake, Intel Arc 130V graphics, and of course 512 gigabytes of storage. You might want to check this one out. Check out the link in the description below. That is a massive discount. So Dell has their Black Friday in July. Let's take a look at this one here. Some of the doorbuster deals that are to be had here. Inspiron 14 laptop here for $499 and $599. One is the Core 5 120U and the other is the Core 7 150U. Again, these are budget laptops and they're pretty capable. The Dell 14 Plus. Now, this is the one that I looked at, and it's $400 off. So I looked at the 14-inch and the 16-inch, and these are the Intel variants. And I got to tell you, for $699, that is a pretty darn good deal here. You get 16 gigabytes of memory. You get the 14-inch non-touch 2.5K display, which is a pretty nice high-resolution display, 300 nits, Comfort View Plus. There is a touch model, but I would recommend the higher resolution model in that ice blue for $699. You might want to check it out. That is a deal with $400 in savings, so pretty nice. Now, the Dell 16 Plus that we looked at, as well as the 14-inch, also on sale for $750. Core Ultra 7 256V. You got 16 gigabytes of memory, a terabyte of storage, and a 16-inch 2.5K display, $750. That is a very good deal, especially if you want a 16-inch laptop, and it's a really good one, folks. I'll have my full review coming very soon. Now, here's one that I reviewed, and of course, we know it's the Alienware Area 51, a 16-inch gaming laptop, is on sale right now. I looked at the one with the Core Ultra 9 275HX, $2549.99. So that gets you the RTX 5070 Ti. Okay, that's good. 32 gigabytes of memory and a terabyte of storage. And you also are getting that 16-inch 2.5K display, 240 hertz refresh rate with NVIDIA G-Sync, Advanced Optimus, and of course, that is pretty darn good here. $2549.99, and that is a discount over the initial asking price. That's $450 off. Now, while we wait for me to get into the studio, the new Dell 16 premium laptops, that will replace the XPS line. There are some good deals on the XPS line from last year, and we're looking at a $600 savings on the Full HD Plus model. It's running Intel Core Ultra 7 155H. It also has the RTX 4050 and 16 gigabytes of memory, a terabyte of storage. That's at $1749.99. And they also have the one that I like, and of course, that's the upgraded model here, also $600 off. And this one has the 4050 in it as well, but the display will be that 16.3-inch 4K OLED display with a 90 hertz refresh rate. So that is pretty interesting. The non-touch, by the way, 120 hertz. So that's at $2299.99. Still not the cheapest thing out there, but that's their flagship from last year. Of course, they did the rebranding, and we are expecting the new Dell premium line to come out in the next few weeks. So stay tuned. I should be getting some review units very soon. And here is the XPS 14, a smaller version. Obviously, we looked at it last year. This one is now at $1,500, so that is a $500 savings. This is a pretty good one, 4050. Obviously, not the most powerful GPU, but of course, you're in a 14-inch ultra portable that you don't normally get a GPU of this kind of thing. So definitely looking at that one, 16 gigabytes of RAM, a terabyte of storage. 14.5-inch, 3.2K OLED as an option, but the one that's in this one is the 2K 1920 by 1200 display, which is, of course, 120 hertz refresh rate. So that is only $1,500. That's a pretty good deal. Of course, you can go up to the OLED model. Let's see how much that raises the price here. That's the 3.2, and then of course that brings it up to $18.99. It is a gorgeous display, I will say that. It's pretty stunning actually. So those are just some of the deals that I was able to curate here for today, but of course as the day goes on there will be more deals, I'm sure. So if I see anything important, I'll let you know. But those are just some of them. You know, look, laptop prices are still very expensive. So anytime we can get some discounts, you know, in 20, 25%, 30%, whatever it might be, it certainly helps alleviate the pain, especially on the wallet. But let me know if you know of any other deals that we might want to check out that I didn't notice yet, but that would be certainly helpful. So let me know in the comments section below. So stay tuned, more to come here. I got a lot of review stuff coming up, you know, that you don't want to miss. So make sure you are subscribed to the channel. And if you are a casual viewer, make sure you do hit that subscribe button, because we're making our big push for 250,000. We're now closing in on 241 or 241,000, which of course is rapid growth. So we may have to move that goalpost to the goal of 300,000 for the year if we keep going at this rate. So couldn't be more humbled or more appreciative. So until next time, this is Andrew, and I'll see you in the next video.